Hello again, and welcome to Senua's Sacrifice, the second part of the walkthrough. We are heading deeper into Surt's realm, the god of fire. And let's see what the game has in store for us here. Look how cool this statue is. Hiding behind the waterfall. So this part will have a lot of puzzles being thrown at us. And let's hope we're smart enough to figure them out. But apparently we also have some combat to deal with.
Too slow. Take him down. Get it out. He's gone.
The combat is pretty simplistic in this game for the most part, but it does its job. It is atmospheric enough, in my opinion.
I can still smell it. A sweet, sickly stench of burning human flesh. And I still hear their cries carried in the wind. Do you hear them too, Senua?
Yes, I heard their screams, and I still hear them now.
Apparently Druth is getting better from COVID. He doesn't cough as much anymore.
Follow the screams. Are they screaming? Follow the screams.
This is where one of the runes should be, but it is missing something.
You can hear the rules.
So you have to use your environment, the environment to your advantage, as we have just demonstrated.
Screams will help you.
So this is where the second rune should be.
Are they screams? Follow the screams.
But we're apparently not in the perfect position for it.
Are they screams? Screams.
So apparently this is where we have to go.
Focus. No.
Yes.
The path to Hellhand is sealed to the living. But you already walk amongst the dead. Look towards the gate, and you will see that it has opened.
No Alohomora this time either. Maybe this time we'll actually find some orcs behind the gate. Hello.
When they first came to my lands, I knew enough of their tongue to beg for mercy, and they took me as a slave. I wish now that they had slaughtered me like the others. I rode their storm of fire, death, and slavery to many lands. This darkness you speak of, I know it well.
And I'm still here to fight it.
So apparently the Druth character is based off a historical figure. A historical figure that was indeed captured by the Vikings and used as a slave, and he escaped and lived the rest of his life as a monk on the Isle of Orkney. And the adventures of that historical character are apparently referenced here to a great degree when it comes to Druth.
Finish this. Fix it now. Did it? She finished it.
Wow, so now we have to fight two of them at the same time. You can also parry some attacks, like this, but actually rolling and dodging are the better ways to go in a fight. Which is similar to games like The Witcher, for example. Although you have no pen, no protective shield in this game.
When you see a fire gate of Surt, know that only a sacrifice will stoke the fires of Muspel and let the dead walk through. Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
It's there.
What a delightful pile of bodies. It really takes the mind to new levels of perception. No, the fire is spreading. This time she doesn't cough because of COVID, but because of the fire.
As you want. But you mustn't look away from the horrors it does offer. Because you cannot overcome suffering if you refuse to look at it.
What's happening? Where's it gone?
The fire's disappeared.
It was everywhere, the pyre.
Surt.
Surt is there
waiting
now.
for you. He's waiting for her. You can't get through.
How will she get through?
She'll need to find another way.
Truth said, find your own path.
There's always another way.
There's always a way.
Find your own way.
You just have to find it.
So apparently the gods doesn't
Be that easy.
He's waiting.
want us to disturb their slumber.
Find him.
The pyre.
So we need to do this the hard way.
The Northmen tell this story. Before the earth was created, there was a world called Muspel. Because it was in the south, it was bright and hot, flaming, burning. Sparks that flew out from Muspel became the stars. Other sparks melted ice in the frozen world of Niflheim, creating the body of the first giant, Ymir. Muspel is one of the 9 worlds, and is now the land of the fire giants. And people from elsewhere cannot endure a journey there.
That's an interesting view of Genesis. As you can see, even before the actual world was created, it still endured some topological references. There was still a north, a south, with let's say very distinct geographies, if you can call it that. And this dialectics is referenced here, and you can say it is placed at the base of constructing
Another gate.
She needs to find
what could be,
another fire circle.
which is the actual world that we inhabit.
Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
It's too far.
She'll never find it. She'll never make her way back.
She needs to remember the way back.
What happens when she finds it?
Everything will burn.
Concentrate on where you're going. She needs to remember the path.
Everything will burn, then how will she find the way back?
She won't. She won't be able to tell.
The Northmen say that the defender of Muspel is called Surt, the foremost of the fire giants. His name means the Black One, because he is like something burnt. The Northmen believe that he sits at the border of Muspel with his flaming sword, and at the end of the world he will leave his post. He will travel to Asgard and Midgard, waging war against all the gods. He will be victorious, and then burn the whole world with fire.
So again, you have fire at the basis of the world, responsible for the genesis of the world, and you also have fire as responsible for the destruction of this world. So it is both a principle of creation and destruction, and we do have a whole bunch of dialectic references deriving from that. And I guess Genesis and destruction are also parts of Senua's inner journey.
The Northmen made fire sacrifices, burning slaves like me to reveal the path to Surt. I searched for meaning in their suffering, in their eyes, but they just screamed like helpless pigs.
Here's the altar. Let's get our bearings a bit first. Okay. Okay, so this is why we got our bearings first, because this is the best path to follow, in my opinion. And where do we go from here? There.
Answer your prayers, Senua. I asked the gods for mercy, all of them, even theirs. None answered. In the end, I set myself free. Defy the gods, Senua. Find your own path, like I find mine.
My gods abandoned me. I am alone.
But she is also free to a certain degree. Well, not free from her obsessions, but at least no gods means on an existentialist level you get to follow your own path without feeling fearful of exterior intervention.
Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
As you can see, these puzzles become harder and harder. The game follows a path of crescendo, you can say, in all its elements: puzzles, combat, exploration, the size of levels, pretty much everything.
The Northmen of Hell worship the Devourers, then sit with gods of darkness. I come from Erin, Senua, where I once followed my own gods, the Tuatha De Danann.
Why did you abandon your gods?
Senua, I was a man of knowledge, not a warrior. To survive, I did things. Bad things. Like you, Senua. The man I once was has died. And when that happens, even gods you worship can die with you.
This is again a very interesting reference. And that's because it is implied that you kill in the name of the gods, but when you try to survive, when you try to avoid being killed, that's when you abandon your gods, that's when you lose your gods, because your own survival is at the top of your mind, and it is stronger and more relentless than any past devotion one might have. Okay, let's try to find the symbols. There's the R, made from lava. Let's see where the other one might be. So it should be around here somewhere. Huh. There it is. As I said, you have to use the environment to your advantage. And it's not always straightforward. Sometimes you need to explore a bit and figure it out. Okay, let's find a way out. Not this way. Through the house. Okay. We need to watch our step here. Okay. Fight in the arena of fire. Okay, there we go.
You see your world has collapsed. Good. Let it collapse. And have the courage to shed your tears. Only then, as with a newborn, will you see the world anew.
No, I see nothing now.
This very much points to the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche, in my opinion. If you must, or if you have to create your own path in this life, through this life, then you first need to destroy all your former idols, everything that you worshipped, everything that you were attached to, and only when you do such a thing will you be able to create your own existential laws, and you will be able to become your own master, a master and not a slave of circumstance, not a slave of a certain belief or another, not a slave of the world that you inhabit. Yet another gate.
Tell me truth. How did you escape your darkness?
Senua, once I found my purpose, I was no longer enslaved to the suffering I had to endure to reach it. Unclouded by fear, I could see it clearly in others. Even my captors feared the fire of Surt. And so, during one raid, I took my chance and ran, knowing that they would not follow. The fool ran into the fire. They left me for dead. Maybe they were right to. But here I am, free.
I'm glad I found you in the wilds. I wouldn't have made it without you.
So this basically reinforces everything I said so far. The fact he no longer believed in gods means he got to escape his captors. The same captors were still bound by beliefs. And they were thus imperfect, they were thus weakened by it. And a person who doesn't have anything left to lose in the name of the gods is a person that will gain, that will have the upper hand in a fight against those who are still bound by their beliefs. So we need to find 3 symbols this time around. Huh. These ones are even harder. This is a P and yet it isn't. Okay, so this is one of them, I think. This missing board here. And we can also open this gate now. But let's go back and try to find the P.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the sons of Muspel will travel to battle in a ship called Naglfar, the corpse ship. And when the sons of Muspel leave the ship and ride to battle, it will be as though the sky had split open, and Surt will lead them. Wherever he goes, flame will erupt before him, and fires will burn behind him.
So again, the fire is both one's past and one's future. It is basically present in everything that we do, because it is nothing more than a principle of transformation, like Heraclitus also used to say in ancient Greek philosophy. Okay, so here is the P. But there's one more symbol to find. Let's try to use this one. No. This one? Yep. have the sacrifice gate here and the other gate there. And I have a feeling this will be even more complicated than the last one. Maybe we'll actually get orcs behind the gate this time around.
Senua, if I could survive the fire of Surt and escape my darkness, then so can you.
Okay, here we go. Escaping fire through a trial by fire. Kinda interesting, this paradox of life and death.
Run through the fire. Keep running. Go on. Nothing will stop. Run, Senua. Run. Run, Senua. Through the fire and charge.
Really cool visuals.
She's dying.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This darkness takes everything. Everyone.
Senua, are you sure you want to do this? We can fight this together, side by side. We always do.
This is my battle. I have to face it alone, away from here.
Where will you go?
I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know.
I believe in you. You know that. Just promise me that you will come back to me. I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
I will come back to you. I promise.
Spill the blood of Surt. Take his mark, and I will cheer you from the underworld.
So this is the first boss battle of the game.
You destroy everything, everyone, but not me. Fight now!
Good luck to us! This is the mirror special attack that we get to use starting from this moment in the game. And I'll talk about it a bit more later, because now I'm a bit busy. now he has become invulnerable. I can only hurt him when he's on fire in that special mirror mode. This mode. There we go!
For every battle won, a greater battle takes its place. And so it goes. Until we fall. And in the end, we all fall. Even the gods have their time. Yet we still go on. Why?
I made a promise, and I will go to hell to keep it.
I die free, knowing you will carry my stories with you. I have fulfilled my quest.
Yes, you have.
When darkness comes, I vow to guide you in this life and the next to fulfill yours.
Then I will see you in hell.
Be ready to face horror in the eye, as I have, to find your answers, your quest.
So, this is a very relevant moment in the game, in my opinion, because it practically underscores the motivation Senua has in her journey. And of course, the motivation is freeing Dillian's soul from the underworld, which is kind of like an Orphic statement, you know, Orpheus and Eurydice. But the trigger that starts this curse towards the underworld, towards the Norse underworld, is her meeting with Druth and Druth's stories. Senua didn't know too much about Norse philosophy and the Norse gods, and she would probably never have started her quest to save Dillian's soul from the Norse underworld if it weren't for her meeting with Druth. But now the question is, how much truth lies in those actual stories? So this is basically a meeting of two disturbed minds, which are also called beautiful minds, that have their own baggage and are good at distorting reality because of said baggage. But they're also good at setting themselves free. And to a certain degree, this quest that Senua starts is nothing more than proof of her emancipation from outside forces and from her past also. But as we will see, the past always has a way to catch up with you. and mess up your plans. You are never fully free from the person you once were, and you have to let's say organically use the person you were in order to become something new, something better, and to fulfill your potential, basically, by achieving this better person that you carry within you. So it basically ran Surt's gauntlet, and we are at the end of it. I'm gonna end the second part of the walkthrough here as well.
Truth was a troubled man.
Let's listen to this.
The scholar turned slave. They tortured him. Took him with them on their raids. Drove him to madness. Spreading this new form of darkness to new worlds. To my world.
So again, we have this link between darkness and the Vikings and the Norsemen, and that's because on one hand the Norsemen are responsible for the death of Dillian, so it's a subjective reason, but it also has to do with their vision of Genesis. Everything basically derives from darkness, and if that's the case, then we too are part of said darkness, and we carry this darkness inside us, just like Senua does at this point. So I said that I'll also talk a bit about that mirror attack that Senua will be able to use from now on throughout the whole rest of the game. And it is very interesting because it is not fully explained what that so-called mirror focus attack derives from. It is, let's say, like an arrow piercing the thin veil of this world, or at least that's how I see it. You can fight shadows, you can fight illusions, you can fight your own demons if you don't get to see beyond the veil, beyond appearance, beyond what you would normally see unless you looked deep within you. So that's another philosophical point that I will follow through the rest of the game. But for now, thank you for being here with me, and we'll continue with Valravan's realm soon enough. So thank you again, and see you later.